What are your thoughts on seeing the first episode of the Netflix live action?
I was very happy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was happy because my whole mantra was, if it's a 6 out of 10, it is an absolute success. Like, we have succeeded, because anime live action has been an absolute diabolical, whatever you want, whatever bad superlative you want to use. It's just been a mess. It's been trash. So for us to go from Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, Dragon Ball Evolution to this, I was like, wow, it's just good. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, the quality is good.
Yeah.
It's not cringe. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, and then after I kind of got over the whole, wow, it's actually kind of good. They started off well. Then I was paying attention to the acting and how Inaki played Luffy. And what I liked a lot about it was that it wasn't goofy in an anime sense, but it was goofy in a real world sense. Like, the way he translated Luffy into a real version of Luffy was awesome, because it's like you can tell he's a little scatterbrained, but at the same time he's still put together. It's like he's only focused on one thing at all times, but at the same time he's pretty self-aware. And his facial expressions, like, if you look in the anime, Luffy's facial expressions rarely change for the most part. He's normally at the same, big-eyed facial expression where he's just looking around what's going on in the world. And Naki does a very good job of having that same facial expression. And I'm like, this kid is cooking. Like, he's really doing a good job with Luffy. And then the humor was funny. And then you go to Zoro, and you're seeing how Zoro's character is more on the edgy side, but you see a slight, it's like that really bad guy that's not a bad guy at all, but he always presents himself as a bad guy, but he's really soft. It's like your textbook, dreamboat for any woman that's watching a soap opera. There's always that one guy where everyone thinks he's an asshole, but he's actually really sweet. And they're like, oh, that's exactly what Zoro is. And I'm like, okay, this is a good version of Zoro. And then obviously Nami, right? Nami, you just got to be her. And I think Emily Rudd encapsulates Nami. Like, so seeing all that come together, I'm like, so I'm enjoying the acting. I'm enjoying the sets. I'm enjoying the cinematography. I think something that some people haven't talked about. When they show the bounties for these characters, they show the little, what's it called? They put the number right in front of you in a little orange text. And I'm like, I like that. I said, that's nice. Hold on. Like, that's really good. So, like, if you never watched One Piece before, you would look at something like that and be like, oh, that was kind of cool. Like, these bounty things seem pretty serious. You're able to turn them into miniature fans by liking small aspects, where every time you meet a new pirate, you're thinking, I wonder what their bounty is, right? Like, they're doing a good job for people who are just joining One Piece now to enjoy the medium in a condensed pace, because that will create more One Piece fans. And the fact that I've seen already, we're number one in Netflix right now? Really? People are just going to see that and just watch the first episode.
In 84 countries.
84 countries.
Number one. Yeah.
Can you imagine? The best thing right now is to be a One Piece YouTuber. Like, literally on YouTube, the best thing to be right now is a One Piece YouTuber. So we're all eating. We're all having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been great, man. I mean, that's just, first impressions, really. What about you?
Yeah. I watched it with my fiance. And what was really fascinating is I did a video on the channel because, I'm a One Piece YouTuber. I talk all about One Piece. I love One Piece. And she does not watch anime or anything like that. She knows bits and pieces like, Luffy and everything like that. And I did a video of sitting down talking with her, trying to explain the series to her, which was, I don't know if it was a success or not, but it was very entertaining. But I gave her, I sat her down to watch the trailer, which is now the biggest video on the channel. Because her reaction was very funny because she doesn't watch any of the anime and stuff. So she had a pretty brutal reaction to a lot of the parts, but she was a very, unfiltered, casual viewer watching it. And so I went and watched the entire series with her. And I think the thing at the very end was like, she said, I didn't hate it. She was like, I was like, that's a success. You watched it. You thought it was all right. Yep. And Yeah, I was just so thrilled to see. Yeah, like when what you mentioned, you're watching it, you're like, wait, the camera's good, this is good. It's just a well-made show. I was like, this is really well made.
Yeah, it's
And
just well made. The quality is there.
yeah, it was fantastic. And yeah, like you said, Luffy in the series, I love. I was surprised to see the brutality, like the violence in the show. It's because that was one thing that really threw me in terms of the series when I first found out about it, because I only saw the 4 kids. And then I saw the later articles that said the censorship, and it's like, oh man, like Luffy's covered in blood. This happens. This happens. Like, what is this? Why is it so violent and it's so goofy? And to see in the show, Zoro cut people down the way he does, and the violence in it, and the goofiness. Yeah, it was just to see all that translated, and to show it faithfully done. It was amazing.
That's a good point on the violence. That's what shocked me a lot.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to One Piece fans, the censoring a lot of this or just not showing us.
Mm.
So to see Alvida kill someone that quickly, like you clearly could tell, oh, that person just died. Then Zoro cuts somebody in half and you literally see the body fall. And I'm like, did that am I watching Game of Thrones? Like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, so seeing that was crazy. And then Zoro bringing the guy's body in a bag. I'm like, wow, Zoro's really gruesome. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So like it added a different element to the show that I liked, which separated the One Piece live action from the One Piece anime and the manga, which makes me tell people, please watch One Piece live action as its own show.
Yeah.
Don't think about One Piece when we're thinking about One Piece live action. This is, to me, the way I see it, it's a different universe.
Yeah.
It's a different One Piece universe. It's going to follow the same script. There's going to be differences, right? It's like an alternate universe.
Yeah.
So once you put your mind into that and then just absorb what the One Piece live action is, you'll find this is actually a very good show. I don't even worry about the source material with this anymore, to be honest with you. As long as they don't stray too far away that compromises one of their characters, if it's good, it's going to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've been viewing it. I hope people are viewing it too. I've heard people complain like about Ben Beckman being fat. And I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, it's
Ben really.
Beckman. Like, we don't even know anything about the guy. Besides the fact that he holds a freaking pistol and he's Shanks' vice captain. And you're like, oh my God, Ben Beckman isn't some handsome guy with black hair. Like, please grow up. Please. You can't have it.
Oh man. Yeah, I found the choices for the cast, quite incredible. And I'm trying to think. I think the big thing that stood out that really like my fiance loved was Buggy. And I'm keen to hear what your thoughts are when you see him, because for one, she was looking up the actors to see what they look like and everything, and she's like, why is the most handsome dude ever playing Buggy? And I'm like, well, maybe because he captures him perfectly, and you watch him and he just is fantastic. So I'm keen to see what your thoughts are with all the other actors, but yeah, they've really done well with it, and it makes me very, very happy. And once the series was done, I was like, yeah, I'm keen for a season 2. They really left off me wanting to watch more. And to see it be #1 in that many countries, and the record has been, it beat the record for the #1 viewed shows for, I think like the holders were season 4 of Stranger Things and Wednesday. So that's crazy, and I'm really curious to see after a few weeks or so later on what the widespread reaction is or viewership is, as well as just being able to chat with people and somebody bring up that they've seen it or something like that, and people know that you do One Piece content, so to see that and see what their thoughts are is going to be really interesting as well.
I would say that I am very surprised that it did actually hit #1. Maybe there's just there are tons of One Piece fans out there, but for it to be #1 on Netflix also proves that there's tons of new people watching One Piece, which is crazy to me because One Piece is massive already, but One Piece is massive in very specific places like France. One Piece is huge in France. Like, it's unreal how big One Piece is in France, to the point where you have stadiums, soccer stadiums, where people have a giant Luffy in the Paris stadium just hanging around. I'm like, wow, okay. And Germany, you've got soccer players doing One Piece celebrations and Twitter accounts tweeting about One Piece, right? So it's like Star Wars. I always said One Piece is like the Star Wars it's like Star Wars, it's like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, these massive, these one stories that turn into communities, that turn into lore. Like, people are always going to know what Star Wars is. Like, always. Star Wars the name Star Wars is going to live on. I don't know, man, till the day humanity's done. Right? Like, it's just one of those things, and they'll keep remaking them. One Piece has now always been there, but in the West, I would say specifically the United States, it hasn't gotten as big as it should yet, right? Because if you go to a store, what are you seeing? Excuse me. Probably some Dragon Ball Z merchandise. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Those are things that have been huge in the United States. So you'll see them at any store, anywhere, right? If you see something One Piece related, you're like, oh, wow, that's great, right? Instead of, oh, it's another Luffy or another Pikachu, So with this being big, it has the potential to turning One Piece into a fully global entity in the United States as well, right? And that's what we kind of want to get to, right? And I think this One Piece live action, now that we have season 1, if season 2 is just as good, like, there's better content, there's better parts of the story coming up. So if it's number 1 now, it means it's going to be number 1 in season 2 with Alabasta, Crocodile, and then, God forbid, we get to Marineford. Then it's like, all right, because I'm expecting Game of Thrones, Battle of Bastards level of directing here, right? Based on what we've seen so far. So if we get Marineford live action and it's anywhere near the Battle of, have you watched Game of Thrones?
Yes, I have. Yes.
By Battle of Bastards?
Yeah.
If it gets anywhere near that, it's over. It's over.
I mean, like you said about the amount of people that you're finding out, like, that kind of that know about One Piece. I mean, you have like actors and actresses that, like, you just all of a sudden in an interview, like, yeah, I love One Piece. And one of the ones was I believe it's Jamie Lee Curtis. As like in every interview she has, is like, yeah, I want to play in One Piece. I want to, like, these people straight out saying, I want to be in One Piece. Like, I want to play. You want to
be in One Piece.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's so many characters that people would look at, and if they like One Piece, like, yo, I want to play that character. So you get someone like Jamie Lee Curtis, right? And then you start landing some really, really big names, right? Like, imagine, I know this is wild, but imagine Vivi being like Amelia Clark. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we had a Daenerys role. It's very similar roles, Daenerys and Vivi. They play very similar roles as the dominant female heroine, right? And Vivi has that. You get someone like Amelia Clark in there, all of a sudden people are just going to see her. Like, that's it. They're just going to see her just in general. So they're going to watch that. And then you have Crocodile. Like, I mean, personally, my dream, if you could make Al Pacino younger, I would want Al Pacino to be Crocodile bad. Oh my God, bro. I would love that. Or did you watch Peaky Blinders?
I'm watching it right now. I've just finished season 4, and I think there's 6 seasons.
So, Crocodile, Luca Changretta. Do you see it?
Yeah.
I think I feel like that would work. The guy that played Luca Changretta, I think I could see he could be a great Crocodile. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. Because now that they've established how successful it can be, now they're like, all right, we're going to go and up the stakes for season 2. The hype on season 1 has gone, but now it's going to carry in season 2. They need some actors or actresses, people to go and pull it in. And I mean, that's one thing that made my fiance want to watch The Witcher. Is I said, hey, look, The Witcher's coming out. It's based on this. I love the video games, and it's like the actor that's playing it is Henry Cavill, and she's like, oh my God, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, sweet. Yeah, it's over. She's watching it. And now she's played through all the games and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I only played Witcher 2, and then she played Witcher 1, Witcher 2, finished Witcher 3 twice on the hardest difficulty. And this is somebody that has only exclusively played The Sims. So to see that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that's funny. That's funny.
It's crazy.
That's actually funny to see.
It's crazy, yeah. And the same thing happened.
That must have been so entertaining. Yeah. That must have been so entertaining for you to watch.
Yeah, and it was also the same with The Last of Us, because Pedro Pascal. Yeah, and she loves Pedro Pascal. So play through the games, and she played through part 1 and couldn't shoot with a sniper or anything, because it's hard to shoot in that game as well. And then by part 2, she's drag scoping people, shooting them. It was the most
drag scoping.
That's how she does. She drag scopes when in The Last of Us. It's insane. I was having a great time. It was like the best playthrough ever. But yeah, it just goes to show the power of these actors and actresses that can bring these casual viewers in. And like you said, if we get somebody like that, like a Peaky Blinders mobster kind of person for Crocodile, like, come on, like, I'm sold. Oh my god.
My dream, would it work? I'm thinking of Cillian Murphy playing Doflamingo.
Oh, if they get Cillian Murphy, hey, look, like I said,
there's no way they can get. Yeah, that's like getting Michael Jordan.
No, I mean, look. There's been a trend of actors that my fiance is obsessed with, getting her into shows. If she can get through season 1 of One Piece and go through the end, if they get someone like Cillian Murphy in, because she's having a big moment with him for Peaky Blinders, done. She might actually love the show. Like, she might actually go, this show's the bomb. Like, great. So I'm banking on it.
I love Cillian Murphy.
Oh.
I love Cillian Murphy. And Oppenheimer, I mean, he's always been, I've always rated him very highly, but with Oppenheimer, like, oh my goodness, he went straight to top 2 actors all time to me. Like, for me, because I'm a huge Denzel guy. I love Denzel. Okay. He's my number 1, period. But like, Cillian Murphy hit my top 3, top 2 immediately after that, because that Oppenheimer performance, if he doesn't win an Oscar, I'll be upset. I'll be so upset. Yeah, so upset. That was incredible acting.
It was amazing. I watched Oppenheimer first, and then now I'm watching through Peaky Blinders because I'm like, I want more of Cillian Murphy because he was great. And
so you did it the other way, because I knew he could do it. I've seen him, because you see his Tommy Shelby is like, it's Tony Soprano level iconic. Tommy Shelby, the character, the acting, like, it's rare that you see a performance like that. Like James Gandolfini with Tony Soprano. When you see how he talks normally, and then you see the Tony Soprano character, you're just like, this is just everything he does is incredible.
Yeah,
every single thing he does is incredible. And Cillian Murphy literally has that same trait where you don't realize, but he's acting in the smallest way possible that you won't notice unless you really pay attention to him, and it's unreal. I can't believe it.
Just like you mentioned, and then you see him talk in like interviews, and he's just like the most, I don't know, like, innocent guy, just kind of, I think he's like not tapped into any sort of internet related things. Like, someone said, hey, there's a meme of you on here. He's like, well, now I know what a meme is, so thank you. That was like in 2023, like this year or last year. Like, man is in a completely different plane of existence. And then he goes to play Tommy Shelby, and he's like, he's that guy. Like, he's just so, like, it's so funny. We watched the scenes where Tommy Shelby like starts chatting up girls and says, so it's like smooth talking them. And then there was one time, I think it was the very first one that he did. And my fiance looks over to me and goes, this guy's the fucking Rizzler. This guy's the Rizzler, because the Riz levels were off the charts with this man. Like, insane. But yeah, I'm loving that show.
I wish I had the last time he did. It's the confidence.
Oh yeah,
to pull it off. He could pull it off in real life, and it'd work every time. Yeah, like every time it would work. Like, he's like, I don't know, man. Makes me wish, like, what does it take, right? So, like, because we can tie this back into the live action, but like, think about what it takes to turn yourself into somebody else, like, legitimately for basically a year or two, depending on how long it takes to shoot. They'll probably take, I don't know how long these shoots take, maybe like 6 months to a year, right?
Yeah.
And you have to turn yourself into that person. So, like, it's no surprise he doesn't have social media. It's no surprise that he probably lives in the acting world. He's literally acting all the time. So then when you look at One Piece and you go into the live action, you're thinking about Inaki and how he basically had to embody Luffy. He had to learn him, his mannerisms. Same thing with Taz and Emily. So when you see them, and you see them own the characters and the personality based off a manga, a comic book, an anime, it's not easy to do. That's really not easy to do. And it's a testament to them, but it's also a testament to the writer to give them a platform to not just stick to anime, but also express the character. So, like, it's just been one big team effort that's produced a very brilliant series, which is, as a One Piece fan, like, I was like, wow, I feel like I have been taken care of.
Yeah.
Like, you took care of us.
That's right.
All of them suffered, but you didn't let us down. Like, that's the highest praise we can pay those guys. And you could tell how much they love it. So I'm certain us loving their work it's just one giant love fest. This is one big One Piece love affair right now.
Oh
To be honest
yeah.
with you.
Oh
It's
yeah.
incredible.